How about you? All good?
Pretty good. Just um, working on a couple hardcover things and um, recovering from a night playing a lot of Wormspan with some friends of mine last night.
What was that?
Wormspan. It's a new board game. It's kind of like Wingspan. If you've ever played Wingspan, it's by the same
No, I
creators.
haven't played that.
It's
Wingspan. Okay.
yeah, it's really fun. It's kind of like this engine building board game where like everyone's pretty much on their building their own thing, and the whole concept of the game is that you're enticing all these dragons to build out a cave of dragons.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna ask if it's like Factorio, but then you said dragons, so it's not like Factorio. Is it like
No,
Factorio with dragons?
no, it would be more like I'm trying to think of like an engine building board game, one where like as you're playing things, future turns you get additional abilities.
Okay. I got the engine reference now, so it's not like proper engines.
Different kind of engine, yeah, but
Okay. I gotcha.
it's it's a fun one. My wife and I have been playing it pretty much every night lately, and yeah, it's been fun.
Okay, so it's kind of like one that keeps you like late at night.
Yeah, and each game's only
That's good.
like half an hour after you know what you're doing, so it's pretty fast.
Okay, I'll look that up. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Have
What
you went to see Dune?
I have I we saw it last we saw it like February 29th, and then we're seeing it again tomorrow in IMAX because
Oh,
we found
really?
a
Okay.
theater that has it, and there aren't very many like there aren't any like full IMAX theaters in Salt Lake City. Like there's like that have the full I think 1 to 1.43 almost like almost square IMAX version, but we found the best one in the city, so we're gonna try that one. How about you?
Okay. No, not yet. I was gonna. My wife's parents are coming a few weeks away from now, so we're gonna see if we can squeeze in, like, leave the baby in their care and go see it at IMAX. At least that was my proposal. So let's see if we can actually pull it off. But yeah, I heard IMAX is like really the way to see it. I've seen some screenshots on Twitter, and yeah, the difference was pretty obvious.
Yeah, yeah, we're like we saw it at our casual theater, which is the only theater that serves alcohol, so that way you could like enjoy a beer and just relax. But like in Utah, there's this weird rule that says like if you serve alcohol, you can't. It has to be like 21 and up, and if it's a bar, so uh, or it has to be like a restaurant where you have a dedicated seat. That way you can't like carry your drink over to someone else and give it to them. They're
Okay, gotcha.
very strict
Oh
alcohol
yeah,
laws.
yeah, it makes sense because it's dark, so you could be passing your beer onto a minor and no one would notice. That's the
Yeah,
idea, right?
yeah.
That's a pretty. I was trying to think if it's the same rule in London, but I'm pretty sure you can have a beer in like any cinema over here. There's one that
Mm,
has, I mean, my favorite one is one that has couches and you can order pizza and you can definitely get beers there. Mm,
those
that
are
one's
fun.
really, really good. Yeah, it's not IMAX though. It's more for like indie movies and that kind of stuff. More for the, cinephiles out there.
Yeah, there was a theater like that in Orlando, and we used to volunteer at the Florida Film Festival, or my wife did, and we would always go to it. And it's the Enzion Theater, pretty really small theater, has like a bar outside, and sometimes the actors for the movies would come and hang out at the bar before the shows. And one time, Bill Murray came and he got behind the bar and started bartending. And no matter what people ask for, he would just pour them a shot of tequila.
That's such a Bill Murray move. I mean, both bartending and pouring everybody a shot of tequila.
Yep.
Jesus.
And he would say, "Yes,
Wow,
yes,
okay.
let me make that for you," and then just pour a shot of tequila.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, everybody should do that.
Uh,
Oh, that's great. I would love that. Okay, that's nice. I'm gonna check that out. It seems like a very like. Is it kind of like famous? Like, it seems like the place that would be famous just because of the Bill Murray story.
yeah, I think so. It's definitely the only like full out indie theater I know of in Orlando that like that does like it's like a one screen theater. So it sounds kind of like what you
Oh,
mentioned
okay.
with couches and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. This one is actually a chain, but kind of like they're going for the same vibe, but they're like pretty successful because everybody wants to sit on a couch and eat pizza while they're uh, viewing a movie, apparently. So yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
on the hardcover side, what have you been up to lately?
Well, we've had like a lot of stuff on our plates. We had two new team members join as well, two developers, Luca and Cole. Hi, and yeah, we're doing designs for multiple features. That's what I've been busy with. We have the list updates that we talked about last week. We also have the dashboard that we're planning and some updates on many of the other pages. So yeah, it's a handful, I guess.
It sounds like you've been kind of jumping around between things.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, there's lots of stuff to be jumping around. Uh, how about you?
um, I think on Monday of this week I deployed the um, it was kind of it kind of started as a feature that I thought would be relatively easy, which was like implement like banned users. So when we ban a user, we don't want to see the stuff they do anywhere on the site. And I'm like, oh, this will be pretty easy. And then I got into it and I realized like it should also make it so that it's banned from even the API level access. So like when someone like uses the API, they shouldn't get anything that a banned user has ever done either. And when I realized that, I had to kind of restructure some of the app so that it uses like what the user's token. So previously, a lot of the website would use this admin token, which has access to everything in our database. And so like behind the scenes, we're using that admin token to generate like your profile or the book page and things like that. But now we're switched to using your token for everything you see across the app. And so what you see in the app will match what you see from the API now.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
yeah.
So that allows us to like when we ban a user, they just become gone from the entire system. Like, no one can see anything they've ever done, any lists they've created, any likes on their activities, any notifications they've ever sent. It's like they don't exist for anyone anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was kind of the way to go, but it took a little more work than I thought.
Yeah. It sounds like it went way deeper than just not showing stuff from
Yeah.
the users. Yeah. We actually had our first case of judging whether someone is a bot or not. So that came with its own like set of discussions among the team. That was pretty interesting. Book discovery, since we're talking about that today, also means that you don't want your feed or your data polluted by people you don't want in your network, and we're trying to, I guess, really make sure that is the way you want to be, like clean data, only the data you want to see, and that involves judging whether someone is a bot or not, and that's a pretty like sensitive decision. uh, because we're not like sure whether that person is a bot or not,
Yeah.
even after we discussed about it. So uh, yeah, pretty interesting. We've been talking about solutions to that. I think there are like some we can try, but yeah, definitely having some people you don't want on hardcover is, yeah, a new problem. And I guess we've talked about like encountering that, so I guess now is the time. We grew to that level where we actually have this problem, so that's kind of good
Yeah.
on from some points of view.
Yeah, it plays in well with like we want authors and other people to be able to come to hardcover and like be able to somehow like get the word out about what they're working on. But how do we do that in a way that, isn't spammy to the existing community, which is going to be its own kind of can of worms, but it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, lots of we have controls for that in place already, so I'm guessing that should be like just maybe fine tuning those controls once we encounter the problem. I think it's gonna get like really fuzzy now that you can have bots that actually write good, believable content. I've seen them on other networks, and you know, even if they're using pretty cheap APIs from large language models, some of them are pretty good, so they can bypass many tests.
Yeah, yeah. I have a feeling that kind of like like automatically identifying spam systems, that'll be something that before too long we're going to have to spend some time on. But at least it's not at
Mhm.
the critical level. It's only at the caution level right now.
Yeah, exactly. Gives us some time.
Yeah,
At least we don't have like thousands of users who are bots, uh,
yeah.
which is good.
I
Fingers
think
crossed. Yeah.
yeah, I think part of it's that we don't have like comments yet, so there's very limited ways to like spread
Hmm.
your advertising or whatever it is you want to spread on hardcover.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
I know from WordPress that's like a real problem. Like spam for comments is something I have never, or like very hard, have been able to uh, keep keep in check. So yeah, good since we're planning discussions. Um, but for book discovery, which is the subject for today, what do you think we should do? So we had a last week we had a session with the whole team, and we did this exercise where we sketched a few solutions. Should we just go through what we did in the exercise and show everybody kind of like behind the scenes of the board, or some other way to talk about it?
um, hmm, yeah, we could jump into that because right now when we're saying book discovery, one of the things we really wanted to um, prototype was this idea of like new release notifications and uh, like coming soon books. Like how do we showcase those in a way, and how do we like work those into the platform? So that was kind of the start of um, one of the new book exploration things, and then that got us kind of on to the idea of like, which is something we've also wanted for a while, is that how do we restructure our navigation and like reorganize the app's information architecture in a way that's going to support new features where we're not just piling them onto a big pile, but like organizing in a way that allows people to actually use a new feature that we want to build.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Yeah,
kind of make sense?
yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, it makes sense for every user that's been through our explore menu, which is like you can go on Hardcover right now and open the explore menu, and you're gonna see that that menu is pretty long for like any standards, I guess. So just like separating parts of that and moving it in places where like it's most likely to be useful. I think that's like the challenge here. um, I think for book discovery, the main thing is to make it uh, so that it works very fast. So, you want a book, you go on hardcover. It's very easy to see new books that ideally are as relevant to you as possible. Um, and I guess tackling it from multiple angles. I mean, for book discovery, I think it's passive book discovery where you see stuff while you're doing other things, and you're seeing a book, you're checking that book out. Oh, okay, this could be interesting. Like when you're seeing stuff in the feed, that's passive discovery. You're just like browsing, and you're looking for something else maybe, but you see something interesting that caught your eye. Okay, maybe I want to read this. But there's also that active discovery, which I think many readers on hardcover are doing, which is browsing through their favorite genre or trending books or something else. And yeah, I guess we gotta come at it from both angles, and that's the challenge. So to come at it from both angles, I think first you gotta make sure the app is structured in a way that you can access that easily. And
Yeah.
actually, I can like go into what we've done with the menu. Maybe that's gonna be better than the sketches.
Yeah, that sounds
What
like
do
a
you
good
think?
starting point. I have a feeling we'll have that'll make for a lot of discussion based on those, I think.
Uh huh. Let's go over there. Let me share my screen.
Let's see.
And there we go. Back into old Figma. So here we go. We got some sketches over here from Adam. These were really good. I really like these. So these were the base for what we've done here. To get like a behind the scenes, we're doing this exercise. It's called Crazy Eights, which is basically splitting a piece of paper into 8 parts and sketching some features that we've previously talked about and voted on. So after we do these crazy eights, we pick one and delve deeper. And this is what you're seeing here. Is it's one of those crazy eights, but developed a bit a bit more. And this is how we're thinking of restructuring the navigation. So right now, uh, you have the explore menu, and that's gonna be replaced by the discover menu. So let me do this. So these are components. So over here you see trending books. You'll see the release calendar, which is a new thing that we're working on. You'll see the recent and upcoming releases. I'm really excited for this one. And recommendations just for you. And over here you have Ask Jules. So it's basically our AI librarian, uh, where you can go into, I guess, more detail about what you want. You can talk about like anything you want with them, and it gives you books. They give you books, and we've got three more discovery tools, which we're hiding because we don't want this to be like a super long menu.
Yeah,
And then for browse, yeah. Oh,
and
let
for
me switch that.
discovery here, one thing I was thinking about for these +3 discovery tools, maybe we could say something um, I had this idea of one thing I really loved in the early days of Dig was they had this thing called Dig Labs, and they were kind of like just little ideas that they've kind of thrown together where maybe they didn't want to really feature them on the site yet, and but they wanted to have them available somewhere for like power users. Yeah, like exactly, and have like a little like what is it, like test tube lab icon or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, let me get the wait. Let me do it in the component actually. What am I doing? So lab experiments. You have the little icon. Is it test tube on Font Awesome?
Good
Let's see.
question.
Test tube. Uh,
Um,
is it Vile? Oh, maybe it is Vile. Okay,
there's Flask.
Flask. Okay, let's try Flask. Flask. Is that what they use in experiments? Okay, yeah. Here we go. All right. Let's make this lighter. So we have the lab experiments. Let's put a smaller margin over here. And okay, let's not underline this actually. Huh? I think it works that way.
Yeah. And for uh for the jewels here, um, are you thinking that like jewels is considered a lab experiment because like it's in a different color background and it's like the first of the labs?
Um, I guess so. I just took your cue from here, so I thought this was like the section. It even
Yeah.
said, "Oh, no divider." It says no divider. Ah, okay. I just saw that. I
But
just saw it.
maybe we could put one after jewels. That way the lab experiments is in kind of its own different color.
Yeah, that's true. So let's see how it works without like any color before. So uh,
Mm,
what do you think?
I think I kind of like the little bit of color at the bottom, like just for the bottom row.
Oh, just for the bottom one.
Like,
Okay, so we remove this one, and over here, let's just like increase this.
yeah, because I'm thinking like, what would happen if you click on +3 lab experiments? Would it like expand out this menu, or would it go to a
Yeah.
new page? Like expand out the menu?
Uh, I guess yeah, just expand it out. We can prototype that. So if you do this, you just wait, let me detach this instance, and you'd get this arrow flipped, and uh, you'd get buccal. Buccal is an experiment, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess that would make sense there. Um,
And
we have uh, we have the series. What's it called? It's something that's not even linked on the site. I don't think. Uh,
oh yeah, Series Explorer
I think it's
or
trackers. Let's see.
Series Tracker.
Yeah, series tracker.
And there was like the book Tinder over here.
Oh yeah, like other ideas. Yeah.
And yeah, let's just like leave it so that. But this is like the main idea. It would just expand, and they would be smaller icons. What do you think? Does this work?
I think they need to like stand out a little more, so they kind of look almost disabled like that. But
Yeah,
something
that's
like
true.
that.
Do you think we should like put even more emphasis on it? So maybe uh like something of the likes,
Hmm.
or I guess now it stands out a bit too much, right? We
Yeah,
don't want people to, yeah, really like go for experiments.
I do like that.
So
I do like having something stand out like that. Maybe not in the menu exactly, but I like having something bright like that.
yeah, I'm a fan of accent colors as well. Let me change the accent color. So free lab experiments, or their lab experiments, so maybe they're blue. I don't know. Is that a bit too much? So let me make it like dark blue, and we make this looks like a white though.
Yeah, having like a non yeah, having like a what would it even be called? It's like a an accent color that's not a
Off-brand color.
yeah, exactly.
Basically, that's it. Yeah, it really messes things up. I tried it with with these icons to like put a splash of color and differentiate the menus, but I mean it's working in this context because they're small, but I wouldn't like overdo it. So maybe we can just like do this and wait. Yeah, I wouldn't have the lab experiments like stand out too much. So
Yeah, because they're like fifth in importance in this list.
yeah, exactly. I think they're okay. Maybe we can put emphasis on other things. Plus, you have
Yeah,
like the three icons here and the Ask Jules, which is like this custom illustration. So,
yeah. And I was thinking about these icons, and I was wondering how this would look as a like a non-duotone icon, like as a
oh, as a like regular icon.
yeah,
Let me grab one from here. So this is chart line up. So let's chart line up this and yeah, that's cool. I like it. I can change all of them to like be
yeah,
non-duotone.
yeah. I think yeah, I think that does look good. It makes it easier to see. I think.
Uh-huh. Calendar star. And I put this like old style wand here, but I don't know, we can replace it with, I thought it would be like a fantasy style wand. Uh, what's it called? Wand sparkles. Wand, sparkles.
Wand magic sparkles. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah. I think those are looking good.
Nice. We can do the same for these. So you'd get the browse menu, which is the way you'd browse through prompts. Through so what is this silly question? I was gonna ask if you like this icon for prompts, since they're questions. You know, I figured the question mark would work, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've struggled to find a good icon for prompts actually. I think
Yeah,
I don't love our one that we have right now. Um,
yeah.
let's see.
Which is the one we have now? Is it what's it called?
I'm not sure. Let's see. I think it's probably question. Oh wait, where is it?
History. I changed the lists one as well to not like be a list, to be more of a wow. This kind of look like prompts now that I look at it the second time.
I think that's a good list one. I think that's
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I want to say that's even like pretty similar to the icon they use on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, I put like the checklist, but then I was thinking, you know, books doesn't quite match that because it's just a checklist, and you've got books. So
What about for prompts? Um, using something with like a an upvote kind of thing because
oh yeah.
that's kind of one of the themes of prompts.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Did you find a good one? I'm just like redoing everything.
Yeah, let
And
me look. Like we could use like a thumb up. We don't actually use thumb up anywhere.
oh yeah,
It's
thumb,
thumbs dash up.
uh, thumbs. Okay. Ah, here we go. Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, these are looking good. I put this like smiley thing over here.
For the
Kind
moods,
of
yeah.
look like, yeah, kind of look funny. So I just let it there. And for the old books, I put an infinity sign. Uh, I don't know. That kind of works, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think that works.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And for like the colors on these,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like one of those things we were just talking about in the chat yesterday. It's like, should we try to theme out explore versus discover in different colors? Um, which I, oh yeah, the purple actually looks good. I'm wondering like if we did that, I feel like that would be almost like making those our new brand colors. Because right now I feel like our brand colors are, I think like, purple, accent yellow, and then
Uh
lots of
huh.
shades of gray.
Yeah. I think that's. I mean, I wouldn't mind having multiple accent colors. I mean, if we're looking at the UI library, you can see. I mean, my favorite section, to be honest, are these labels. And look at all the colors over here. Um, but we've had comments from some of our readers that some people might not like yellow, some people might not like purple, some people might have a thing against green. So I'm wondering if we're gonna make these into accent colors, if we can define maybe like, yeah, themed accents depending on the section, and not like have ourselves limited to just like two accent colors. Mm. In my view, you can play around with these for certain brands, and I think hardcover is one of those.